Known for his surreal storytelling, unsettling atmospheres, and psychological depth, David Lynch has left a profound impact on cinema and pop culture. His works like Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive blend the mundane with the bizarre, creating experiences that linger long after the credits have rolled. Today, we're exploring 5 indie games that capture that same Lynchian essence, dreamlike narratives, uncanny characters, and a sense of mystery that defies easy explanation. Before we start, make sure to check out Indie Game Arcade, the weekly podcast dedicated to bringing you nothing but the latest and greatest indie games. Check the link in the description to find Indie Game Arcade on your favorite podcast app. Number 5. Mouthwashing. Starting off our list at number 5 is Mouthwashing, a surreal and unsettling psychological horror game about a delivery crew aboard a spaceship called the Tulpar that ends up stranded with no hope of rescue. Developed by Wrong Organ, the game employs a non-linear narrative shifting between events before and after the crash, immersing players in the crew's deteriorating mental status. The Tulpar's confined, labyrinthine corridors amplify feelings of isolation and claustrophobia, with the low-poly retro visual style enhancing the unsettling atmosphere. As the story progresses, the veneer of normalcy dissolves, revealing a descent into madness. The horror intensifies as the true nature of their predicament becomes apparent, confronting players with existential dread and the fragility of the human psyche. Mouthwashing has been lauded for its narrative depth, atmospheric design, and exploration of psychological horror and the human condition, something that Lynch fans, especially those diehards that still love Eraserhead, are very familiar with. Number 4. Virginia. At number 4, we have Virginia, a first-person mystery adventure from Variable State that feels almost like stepping into a lost episode of Twin Peaks. Set in a fictional 1992 Virginia, you play as FBI agent Ann Tarver, investigating a boy's disappearance in the small town of Kingdom. What makes Virginia interesting is that there's no dialogue whatsoever. Instead, it leans on sharp cinematic cuts and strong visual cues to guide the story. This creates a surreal, almost dreamlike vibe where you're never quite sure what's real and what's imagined. Scenes jump between moments without warning, and symbolism replaces clear answers, leaving you piecing things together like a puzzle. The game's striking art style and haunting score only add to that Lynchian feel, where the ordinary starts to feel off and nothing is quite what it seems. If you're into eerie mysteries that thrive on atmosphere and ambiguity, then Virginia is absolutely worth checking out. Number 3. Immortality. At number 3, we have Immortality, an interactive mystery game from the great Sam Barlow that feels like unraveling a twisted puzzle box of lost films and hidden messages. In this game, you investigate the disappearance of fictional actress Marissa Marcel by scrubbing through footage from her 3 unreleased movies, along with behind-the-scenes clips and interviews. Immortality thrives on ambiguity. Scenes shift from glamorous Hollywood-style moments to eerie, unsettling imagery, creating a constant feeling that something sinister lurks just out of frame. Much like David Lynch's fascination with dual identities and hidden truths, the game blurs the line between performance and reality, leaving you questioning what's real and what's illusion. It's a game that refuses to hand you the easy answers, instead inviting you to obsess over its fragmented mysteries. And if you're a Lynch fan, that's exactly what makes it so captivating. Number 2. Kentucky Route Zero. Coming in at number 2 is Kentucky Route Zero, a critically acclaimed indie game that has a knack for blending the mundane with the surreal. Developed by Cardboard Computer, this 5-act adventure follows a truck driver named Conway as he navigates a mysterious highway and the strange characters who inhabit it. The game's dreamlike narrative, minimalist art style, and haunting soundtrack create an atmosphere that's both melancholic and otherworldly. The horror in Kentucky Route Zero is subtle, rooted in the uncanny and the unknown. It's not the overt terror of monsters or jump scares, but the creeping dread of a world that just doesn't adhere to logical rules. The game's exploration of themes like economic hardship, loss, and the erosion of identity only adds further layers of psychological horror. If you're a fan of Lynch's ability to turn the ordinary into something profoundly strange, then Kentucky Route Zero is an experience you won't soon forget. Before we get to our top pick, here's an upcoming indie title for an honorable mention: Rue Valley. Currently in development, this narrative-driven adventure follows a man stuck in a Groundhog's Day-style time loop where overcoming his mental dilemmas are integral to solving the mystery that surrounds him. The game promises a mix of psychological depth and storytelling, with a focus on exploration and dialogue. The visuals are moody and atmospheric, coupled with simple mundane tasks like washing up and exploring the old rundown motel you're residing in. Choices are determined by your current mental health and personality traits chosen at the start of the game, creating the opportunity for a very personal story while uncovering the bizarre secrets of the anomaly that keeps you trapped. Number 1. The Rusty Lake series. And finally, claiming the top spot is the Rusty Lake series, a collection of surreal puzzle games that feels like a love letter to David Lynch's work. The current 17 games, and growing, developed by Rusty Lake, form a surreal, interconnected puzzle adventure franchise steeped in psychological horror and dream logic. Presented in a point-and-click format, these games unravel a cryptic narrative centered around the mysterious Rusty Lake, a place where time bends, identities shift, and the ordinary is laced with the deeply unsettling. Players navigate fragmented memories, eerie rooms, and bizarre rituals, often assuming the roles of different characters from across various timelines. The puzzles, while seemingly grounded in logic, frequently take surreal turns. Unlocking a drawer might reveal a floating eyeball, or pouring a drink could summon an apparition. As the series progresses, themes of trauma, rebirth, and the cyclical nature of fate become more apparent, with recurring symbols and figures adding to its mythology. With its dreamlike pacing, cryptic storytelling, and moments of disturbing realism, the Rusty Lake series echoes Lynch's fascination with fractured realities and the hidden darkness beneath mundane settings. Much like Twin Peaks, it lures players in with an air of mystery before unraveling into something far stranger and more unsettling, leaving them to piece together a puzzle where not everything is meant to fit neatly. And that's our list of the top 5 indie games for David Lynch fans. These games prove that the spirit of Lynch's surreal storytelling is alive and well in the indie scene. Which of these games is your favorite, and what would you add to this list? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more indie game content. And don't forget to check out the Indie Game Arcade podcast for more recommendations and discussions about your favorite indie games. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.